What is up, guys? It's Michael Lieutenant from Absolute Arbitrary, and this is a little bit of Team Defender on the map Arkaden. If you are a team objective game type player like myself, you're going to be playing a lot of Mosh Pit, a lot of Team Tactical. You may very well be playing one game type, but eventually you're going to run into the Team Defender on the map Arkaden because I feel like that's one of the more common maps for this game type. And so I thought I would produce a couple of videos to show you guys what's going on in my mind as far as strategies and how I like to play the game. This particular game, I was only running with one of my friends, but I do recommend staying as a group right off the bat because the first person who dies does drop the flag. So if you were on the offensive side where you killed the other team first, you want to be able to flash the other team and run over and pick up that flag and pull back. At the same time, if you have a group, you still want to be able to, and your team dies first, so you're on the defensive side, you want to be able to pick up that flag and pull back to a spot that you can defend really soon so that they don't capitalize on your initial team loss. If during this video that you guys maybe learn a thing or two, or even like the idea of what's trying to happen with the whole I'm helping you guys out with a few tips and tricks, let me know in some manner so that I know that I can, continue to better myself as a content producer with the strategic, tips and tricks. Because I feel like I have a lot going through my mind, and a lot of people may not, process that same, strategies or lines of sights or whatnot. And I know I don't have all of them. I've been watching the Major League Providence, and it's just absolutely insane what these guys are still doing. And I know they're still playing Black Ops, but I am excited to see them come into Modern Warfare 3. So right now what you're watching is my team is going to pick up the flag, and then we were going to pull back to C-Dom, at which point I will now show you guys kind of a few tips and tricks about where to initially go for C-Dom, and if the situation changes, how to react to that and, retake your area. The map that was just brought up is a map of Arkaden with the 3 domination flags located on it. The area that you want to secure is C-Dom, now located in red. You want to have one of your teammates secure the area with the stripes on the ramp, now located with a blue dot. This line of sight produced with that, he can either head glitch over some boxes and have a great line of sight into the room, or he can position himself so that he is between a barrel and a box with also a great line of sight through the room so that you can watch the entrance of that room. The second dude that you want to situate yourself is having a little further south. Is that south? I guess south is cardinal directions. A little further down than that, now located with the second blue dot, and he's going to have 2 lines of sight. One line of sight is going to secure the stairs, and why this is important is because the people on the stairs are in an elevated position, so that as someone that's further down, you will be able to see them before they see you, so you'll have the advantage on the engagement control. The second line of sight that you will have is more towards the center of the map into what appears to be like a jewelry store or whatnot. And in my experience, this happens to be the least used route in the defensive situation for them to come at you. And later on, you'll learn that this is the most effective route to take when you are attacking somebody who is posted up in C-Dom area. So now we have an idea of where we're located on the map and where everybody's kind of positioning themselves and defending and where they're looking at. And you'll watch me go back and forth between the two positions because I was only playing with one of my friends, and he was not informed about what my idea was doing. And actually, quick tip, I believe that the equipment on this single door right there is the best position for equipment because these other 2 doors are easier to defend because you have the advantage on people coming down the stairs, as well as the less dense position coming through the middle as right there. So I feel like if you put equipment like claymores or bouncing betties or the IMS system, if you put it on the right door as if I'm located right now, that it gets a lot of traffic and it's pretty accurate most of the time, and because it's around a corner, they have to reveal themselves to the IMS system. So it's a pretty logical idea of doing that because these other 2 areas are pretty easy to maintain. However, like any kind of strategy, it's eventually going to crumble and somebody's going to come in and sneak in past you, and which just happens in this game, which is kind of makes sense because it was only myself defending the area with a little bit of help from my friend. And so I get about a minute to kill until I can use the next tips when I lose the flag and I have to go on to the offensive side of things. And I kind of want to talk about my gun choice because I use the CM901, and I looked at a stat sheet for all the guns, and it turns out that the CM901 is the worst assault rifle next to like the SCAR at long range, but that's not even like a problem because the SCAR is still a really powerful weapon. So by far the CM901 is the worst assault rifle, and that's the weapon of choice that I use all the time, and I don't even know why. It's just that I feel comfortable with it, and it's got like a 7.0 compared to like 3.0 to the other guns on recoil, but I feel like the recoil is still very manageable, especially considered that I play a lot of Battlefield 3 and the recoil on that seems a lot more, effective than in this game. So it still seems like it's manageable for me, but apparently it's the worst gun, but I seem to be doing pretty successful with it, and I probably will continue to use it, but I like experimenting with other guns, and when I get into more competitive gaming, I'll probably end up choosing that gun with the advantage choice on it. I actually kind of overestimated the amount of time that I had between what I had left and when I died, and then when I went onto the offensive side, but that is quite alright. A few seconds ago, and by that I mean like maybe even a half a minute ago, you saw that I dropped the flag because some guy rushed up on me, and then I spawned and immediately ran down the middle route of that C-Dom area, not the stairs and not the other room with the head glitching area towards, I don't know, it's like a yellowish room, it might even be like a lounge. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but it's not the middle route and it's not the stairs, so the other one, I mean, I imagine you guys know what I'm talking about at this point. And so oftentimes people don't pay attention to that because at the stairs there's a spawn point above the stairs in the small mall section, and then there's another spawn point near B-Dom, and then they kind of rush around those, but hardly do people ever run through the middle. But you'll see me run through the middle every time in this one, and eventually they put a guy up there to watch the middle section, but it's really not a problem, especially after having C-Dom locked down for as long as we did, because at that point they're just rushing in and we're piling up the points. So at this point we had such a lead that even though we didn't even have the flag, or we may have had trouble getting the flag back, it really wasn't a problem because we had that comfy lead where we were nearing the end of the game and they really couldn't turn things around on us because we were just such, we were powerful slayers in this game. And you look at the end stats and when the end of the game comes down, and it's like my friend had about 33 kills or whatnot. I think it's actually just over 20 kills, and then the rest of my team didn't even have the double digits in the kills. I think the third best guy had like 8 kills, which is a really low amount. So we definitely carried the team, but it was definitely because of the position that we locked down, and I really don't think that it was any other reason besides that, other than the fact that we were winning battles and they weren't. I mean, that's obviously a really nice indicator of how well you're doing. So I believe the round is coming to an end, guys, in a few seconds now, but I want to thank you guys for watching this. If you guys learned something, I would love to hear it. If you guys want to see more, I'd love to hear that as well. If you want to challenge the tips and tricks that I gave you, go for that. If you have more tips and tricks that you want to provide people, go for that as well. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and have a nice day, guys.